Hello viewers and welcome back to my radio repair channel. This time no radio repair, but it's a fan. It seems to be a cooling fan. I didn't know. My wife bought this thing maybe more than a year ago or so, and I never paid much attention to it. To me it looked like a fancy radial fan. It seems to have, I'm taping this from my kitchen table because my hobby room is not set up yet. My shipping container has not arrived yet. It's on its way. It's already landed in Surabaya. The customs already inspected the container. Seems to be fine because I didn't hear anything back of them, so it's supposed to be fine. If it's not good, I probably already would have heard something. But it's still not here. I don't know why they picked Surabaya as a port. Jakarta is much closer to Bogor than Surabaya, and from Jakarta it would take you about, depending on traffic of course, an hour and a half, 2 hours to get here. From Surabaya it would take you at least 2 days to get here, so it's not handy I think, but there must be a special reason for it, I don't know. So I haven't set up the new hobby room yet, so that's why I'm here from my kitchen table. It doesn't really matter of course, but there you have it. So then getting back to this fancy looking radial fan, it seems to have an extra feature of which I didn't know, because when I looked closely I saw here there's a little push button and that says, let's show it to you. I can't even read it. Mulembabkan. That's Indonesian for humidifying. And this one says indicator tanki, and that means that it's an indicator for the level of the water tank. Like, oh, alright, well, it seems to have a water tank. So what's that all about? So after a little bit of investigating, I found out that the thing indeed has a water tank, and inside that tank there's a little submergible pump. The idea is that the water from the tank gets pumped up, and on the backside of this magnificent thing there's a filter-like thing, and then the water gets pumped up and then it comes back down again, so over the filter material. So if the fan starts blowing, it sucks in air from the back past this filter, and that's how it adds humidity to the air that it blows out of the front. Now the idea was that you could also put like a cooling element, like the ones you use for your cooler box and stuff like that, from the freezer in that water tank, so you'd have colder air, or a handful of ice cubes would do it. So then, well, you know what, let's try that. So I tried it, switched it on, but I actually never noticed any difference. And after a day or two I checked the water level of this water tank, but it stayed the same. So I'm like, something isn't right. So I will show you first how it works, and then see what we can do to try to fix it. So here's this is the back side of the fan, and here is the water tank. As you can see, here is the hose, the blue hose that is connected to the submergible pump. It's a tiny little pump, just like you would find in small aquariums and stuff like that. And there's a level indicator. That is actually a little float, that if the water level is too low, it will let you know here. So that's how the water tank works, and this is the filter like, there's one screw in the back side, I already took that out, and here's the filter like material. Now the water gets pumped up and gets into this little tray, and that's where it gets, well, it basically runs down the filter material. And if air gets sucked in the fan through here, it gets past this filter-like material, and that's how it adds moisture to your to the air that comes out of the fan. Now that is not working. That can mean two things. Well, I better leave this thing off of here then. It's either the pump is broken or the pump is not getting any power. So we have to figure out which one it is. Therefore I will try to take it apart and see if we can get to the wiring. So, well, here we have it. I tried everything to take it apart. I took all the screws out. There are screws here and there, and still didn't want to come apart. Oh, well, you can't see me. That's not so nice. So I tried to take it apart. I took all the screws out of here. It didn't want to come apart. I tried prying on it. I tried to find if I could find some little clips or stuff like that, you know. I can't find anything to get this open, so I don't want to pry too much on it. It's all plastic. Before you know, you break something off, and then it will be beyond repair. Now still I want to know why the pump is not working. So like I said, it can only be two things. It's either a broken pump or not getting any power to the pump. Since I can't get to the wiring, although there where the wiring is connected here to the switch, I will just cut the wire off here that goes to that submergible pump and then see what we get. That's the only thing I can think of at this point. Well, that's it. Here's the pump out of the tank. And what I will do, I will strip the wires off this piece, what I have left over here. And then measure first if we actually get power here, yes or no. And then I know if I need to buy a new pump. So that's what we're going to do. Hang on. So there we have it. I stripped the wires, I switched everything on, and I see if we get power to this wire that goes to the pump. Oh, I have to put my hands away from it. Well, there you have it, 230 volts. So that means that very probably the pump is broken, because we do get electricity on the wire. So I have to see if I can find another pump. So here we have it. This is the little submergible pump. It's mounted to this bracket, where also the level indicator float was mounted to. And well, this is the other end of the cable, so to speak. We don't have to test the pump anymore. We just can pretty much go out from that it's broken, because there was electricity on this cable. So, well, not on this cable, but on the other end, of course, that is still attached to the fan. Yeah, so I have to try to see if I find one. It's not. Get the pump off of the bracket. This is the bracket. We have to keep this, or maybe you have to modify it, just depends. And see if we can find one. Now the most important part with these little submergible pumps, if you need it in this application, is the height it can pump. And the label will actually tell you that. And this one can pump, I just have to get my glasses again. I already checked it, of course, but it's 85 centimeters to 1 meter and 10 centimeters. So in between there, that's what it can do. If you use your tape measure and you go from the bottom of the tank towards the top of that filter, then you have like 83 centimeters. So this is barely good enough. So if I buy another pump, I at least have to see how high it can pump the water up. Otherwise, if it can only do like say 70 centimeters, then it'd never be enough, of course. So then it also wouldn't work. So that's something you have to be careful with if you're looking for another pump. Actually, I already did here on my old laptop. Yeah, You can't see much of it. It's not easy in this setup, but it doesn't matter. I already looked it up to see if I could find something. I did find a pump, 220 volts, that can pump this high, but it's a different shape. It didn't say exactly what dimensions the pump exactly are, but you can see from the picture that it's not very big. This is 6.5 watts consumption. The pump I found is 10 watts, but like I said, so it will be maybe a little bit bigger. At least it'll have a little different shape than this. It's not exactly the same, so I would have to make some alterations to the bracket, I'm afraid, but we will see how we get with that. So I ordered it, and now it's waiting for it to arrive, and then we continue. By the way, there is a mango tree in front of the house, as you can see them. And lots of fruit. This one right here. You can almost get to it. It's not ripe yet, so better leave it alone. Oh, well, the new pump came in. It's already in my possession for about a week. But I never got around to continue the video, and that's a simple fact. There's a lot of noise. Next door to me, that's where they are renovating. They put a new floor in and a new bathroom. So there's a lot of chiseling and hammering going on, so that's not very nice if you want to make a video. And the opposite side of the street, what are they doing there? They're fixing the roof. I don't know how they do that, but at least it makes a lot of noise. So I more or less escaped to this house temporarily to find out, it's hot here. I don't have air conditioning in the living room, I only have that in the bedroom. But yeah, shooting a video from the bedroom is a bit awkward, I think. The couch I'm sitting on is, well, there's a cloth over it. It's because this is bolstered new, and we try to keep it clean for as long as possible. So, and we hardly sit here anyway. So, okay, long story. This is the replacement pump. I will get it out of the package. Here it is. Now it comes with a cord with a plug on the end. We're not going to need the plug, but yeah, at least we can test it to see how it works. Now you can see that there is a difference in size and in shape a little bit. The thing is that the original pump was held down with this bracket at the bottom of the tank. Now we can't use the bracket anymore to hold the new pump down. But it doesn't matter, the new pump has like little miniature, it's visible, suction cups. And if you press that down on the bottom of the tanker, they'll stay in position as well. It's the same pump as they would use in small aquarium and you know, that sort of stuff. A little plants you have sometimes with waterfalls in and that sort of stuff going on, that's what they use these pumps for. So that would be not a problem. The only thing is that this bracket had a second function. This part of it also held the level indicator, and I have to figure something out. Maybe I just saw a piece off because here this bit slots in the bottom of the tank, and see if that is enough to hold it in place, and otherwise I just get rid of it altogether. Because the indicator, the light, indication light for the level is on top of the fan. Now if you're sitting in your chair, you can't see the light anyway. So, but at the bottom of the water tank there is just a simple glass with the level on it. It's much easier to see that if there is still water in the thing. So you really don't need it, but we'll see if we can, if there's a way that we can keep it in. And if not, well, we just get rid of it altogether, it doesn't matter. What will I do first? First we're going to see if we can test this little pump and see if it works. Therefore we have to go to the kitchen, so hang on for a moment. Well, here we have it. The pump is in the sink. The water is not so clean as you can see, but that has to do with the fact we're not using the house as much. So the water in the pipes is a little dirty, but it doesn't matter for the functionality. So it's plugged in here. This is with a switch, makes it easy. Let's see what happens. Ooh. Well, that's working. That's good enough. And now we have to see how we built it into our fan. So here's the fan. Here's the water tank again. All right. Well, this in the bottom, as you can see, it's a little recess. That's why you're supposed to put the pump. I test fitted that already. The pump does fit in the recess, which is good, because the pump needs to be practically fully submerged in order for it to work properly. So that is not going to be a problem. We have to cut the plug off and see how we connect the wires to the other half I already cut off from the old pump, of course. So, first thing we're gonna do is see what length is on the old pump, and that's more or less the length I need from the new pump. Of course, I will keep it a little longer to make it easier to solder it. I probably have to solder it back together. See, people use crimp connectors and that sort of stuff, but I really don't like that. Other people swear by it, and that's alright. I mean, everybody has his own thing, of course. So, it's a little bit longer. Yeah, should do it. So, now I have a little cord left over with a plug on the end. That can be nice for testing purposes some other time with some other stuff. There's a box of tools here. They're very old. They're still the ones I had from Medan. I kept them together. There's a collection of all sorts of different tools from my garage and the garage from my brother-in-law, the one from England. We both brought a lot of tools with us years ago, and everything we had extra and we didn't need directly, you know. Sometimes you have like a cutter, and if you have 3 of them, well, 2 is also enough, so we bring one over. That ID, you know, and that we both did that, so they gave us a nice collection of tools. But yeah, they've gotten old, and a hammer, for example, I see that as a last resort. If you can't get it fixed, take a hammer to it. So, alright, well, let me, you know what, let me strip the wires back and then I'll switch the camera back on. So, here we have it, the wires are stripped back. Here's my old soldering iron that I bought years ago. Well, all the other stuff, as you know, is shipped from Hunsbroek, where I used to live, to this part of the world. Of which, by the way, I got a message that it's supposed to arrive tomorrow. Yay! Oh, looks like the cable is a little too short for what I want with it. Well, maybe you have to turn it around, I don't know. Yeah, you know how that goes. I mean, just put a little solder on. Alright. You can see the difference in quality of the wiring of these pumps. You'd think it wouldn't matter much, but if you look at these from the new pump, they're really thin. I don't know if it shows. The other one, the original cable, is at least twice as thick and is 100% copper. And this, I'm not sure what it is. Could be anything. It doesn't look much like copper. It wasn't easy to get tinned, so to speak. But I put some tiny shrink tubing over these, like so. And then we solder them together. and there's a bigger piece of shrink tubing which I will pull over the hole. Now I do have better shrink tubing, and that's the shrink tubing with some goo inside, is what it looks like. So if you heat it up, the goo starts to ooze out, and that actually gives a better insulation, I think. But that stuff I don't have here at the moment. All I had is this small collection of shrink tubing that I threw in my suitcase, knowing in the back of my mind that I probably need it for something. It's which I actually do in this case. So solder the wires together. I mean, I've seen that a million times. This camera setup is far from ideal. Everything is far from ideal. So I will solder it together and then I'll show you the result, if there's anything worth showing. I don't know if you can see anything at all, but here it is, soldered together. The small shrink tubing is over it, and there's no light here, is it? Yeah, you have to slide the bigger one over it, so like that. Shrink that, and then you can put it back together and see if you can get it to work. So I did saw a piece off from the bracket for the level indicator, which is, where is it? Here. And that seems to work. I just test fitted it inside this tank, and there's even enough room for that new pump. So I can get everything together. Yeah, I walked upstairs. There's nothing in this room yet, because this is supposed to become my new hobby room. But like I said, my stuff isn't here yet. It will arrive tomorrow, I hope. We're gonna change this. I don't know whoever came up with the idea to make this instead of a wall. I don't know. When we first got here, it didn't even have this plastic on, so wind and rain and everything could get inside. It's just weird. But we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna throw all this bars. It looks a little bit like a jail, doesn't it? You throw that all away. The neighbors already did pull up a wall there, so there's no point. And there will be a window here. And I think I want to have that desk here, where more or less in the same way as I had the old desk in Hoensbroek. So we'll see. But okay, to get back to this, like I said, I did saw a piece off of the bracket. This is the piece we need to hold the level indicator in place. It does work. Yeah. It's hard to tell, but I'll put it together. Well, there it is. As you can see, the blue hose is connected to the little pump. The pump holds itself down with the tiny suction cups in the bottom. And here's that, well, you can't see it, I think, the sawn-off bracket that holds the level indicator in place. Oh, all right, well, I think it's a success, but we'll have to try it tonight when all the personnel went home. That is currently restoring a house next door, and the ones on the opposite side of the street. And we will test it over a cold beer. I think that's a good idea. And yeah, I think I'm ready for a cold beer. Anyway, it's hot. It's really hot. See you guys tonight when we can test the fan. Well, we are back at the house. And I'll fill the water tank up. Oh. Want to switch off. There's a fan running here. I don't know how much that gives interference. Fill the water tank. Yeah, it's not full, but should be enough. And as you can see, I did remove the filter-like material just to see if it would work. This water is supposed to come out of the top here. It's probably going to make a mess, but that doesn't matter. Just for a short while, so we can test it to see if it works. Okay. So this is the fan turning, and now if I press the button, water should come out here. Yeah, it does. So put the filter-like material back in and see how it goes there. Yeah. Have to lift it up a little bit because it's not a perfect fit, of course. So it actually recycles the water, as I can see. So it will go through, pass through this, and what is too much gets back in this collection tray and then goes back into the tank. Well, that's the idea, I think. Let's see what happens. Water indeed is running down this thing. That's nice. Now, as long as there's no water coming out of the bottom, I think we're fine. See if I can get it a little bit closer. I don't know if you can see anything of the water running through this thing. But, tonight we will test it over a beer and see if I put some ice cubes in the water tank, if that helps anything, if that actually cools it or not, because that was the whole plan, according to my wife when she bought this. So it was a recommendation of the people who sold it. So I'm curious. There's still no water coming out of the bottom, but I can actually see that it's coming through. Well, we saw it together, didn't we? And now it's going through this filter-like material, and I actually can see that it runs back into the tank. Let me see if the camera can catch that. At least you can hear it, maybe. All right. Well, there's whoa. As I said, we're gonna test it tonight over a cold beer. At least the beer will be cold, because that's already in the fridge since this morning. So, here we are. This is the end of the video. I'm sitting outside in front of the house on the little terrace. Here's the fan. I've been testing it now for a while, and tried to put these cooling packs in there from the freezer to see if that made any difference. And yeah, I could say you can feel it's colder. Colder air is coming out of it. So that's nice. But it only works, of course, if you're sitting in front of it. I don't think you could use it to cool a whole room with it, because if it would be able to do that, then there would be no need to buy an expensive split level air conditioning unit. So it's a gimmick. It's nice, but to me, well, unnecessary. I don't think I would have bought it. It's something my wife bought. No problem, of course. Like I said, it does work. If you sit in front of it, it's nice. And that's it. So now the beer test. Draft. I had this before. It's it's the budget. It's the supermarket budget beer from here, from Indonesia. So nice and cold. And just grabbed it out of the fridge. I will pour it in my glass. Yeah, the lighting is not very nice, I know, but okay. Nice pilsner. Looks good. Now let's give it a taste. Proost. Oh, that's nice. And the temperature has come down a little bit. It's already evening over here, so it's 29 degrees Celsius, so that's not too bad. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed watching the video. Also, thank you very much for watching. If you have any remarks or questions or anything at all, put them in the comments down below. And hope to see you next time.